University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, the University of Liverpool and St Peter's College, Oxford, have already earned the first of the two quarter-final victories our stringent rules demand if they're to progress further in this contest. Tonight, two more teams have a chance to do the same. Durham University scored an extremely comfortable win in round one with 250 points against the dismal 35 from Brasenose College, Oxford, who in future must try harder. They had tougher opposition in round two, but they still came away with 210 points to the University of York's 160, giving them an accumulated score of 460. Let's meet the Durham team again.
Hello, I'm Daniel Morgan-Thomas. I'm from East London and I'm studying History and Classics.
Hi, I'm Freddie Lloyd. I'm from Penshurst in Kent and I'm studying philosophy.
And this is their captain.
Hi, I'm Fred Harvey. I'm from Vidlington in East Yorkshire and I'm studying physics.
Hello, I'm Nikhil Boyd-Shah. I'm from Bournemouth in Dorset and I'm studying law.
The team from Gonville Caius College, Cambridge, had the highest score in round one with 305 points against the 105 of St Anne's College, Oxford. They too had a much closer match in round two, but managed to beat the University of Manchester by 200 points to 135 nonetheless. Their accumulated score, therefore, is 505. Let's meet the Caius team again.
Hi, I'm Ted Loveday. I'm from Hammersmith in London and I'm studying law.
Hello, I'm Michael Taylor from Ballymena in Northern Ireland and I'm studying for a PhD in history.
And here's their captain.
Hi, I'm Anthony Martinelli. I'm from Hertfordshire and I'm studying medicine.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Warner. I'm from Southampton and I'm reading Natural Sciences.
Right, let's not waste any time reciting the rules. Just fingers on buzzers. Let's get on with it. Your first starter for 10. Born 1790, which German mathematician and astronomer first described a class of extraordinary polyhedrals that have zero volume and violate Euler's polyhedral formula? His name is more commonly associated with a one-sided band or strip.
Durham Boyd-Shah.
Mobius.
Correct. The first set of bonuses, Durham, are on Vikings. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle entry for the year 793 details the harrowing inroads that were the first significant Viking raid of the 8th century on which island off the Northumberland coast?
Lindisfarne.
Correct. In the early 10th century, the Viking leader Rollo agreed to become the vassal of the French king Charles the Simple, who gave him the land that became which duchy?
Normandy.
Correct. Wooded land in North America was visited in around the year 1000 by the explorer Leif Erikson, who gave it what 7-letter name?
Greenland's not 7 letters, is it?
Iceland?
Iceland. Possibly. No, that's not North America, is it?
No, it's not, but, you know, there's ice there. Iceland?
No, it's Vinland. 10 points for this. Mozart's Concerto K191 in B-flat major is one of the most frequently performed works in the repertory of which woodwind instrument?
Durham Harvey.
Clarinet?
No, you lose 5 points. In Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf, it's used to represent the grandfather.
Caius Loveday.
Bassoon?
Correct. Now, Caius, these bonuses are on modularity. The modulus measuring the stiffness of an elastic material, defined as the quotient of longitudinal stress over strain, is named after which English polymath?
Young.
Correct. Using modular arithmetic, give an example of a square root of 2 modulo 7.
Speak up.
Three.
Yep. You know it. 3.
Correct. In proving a partial case of the Taniyama-Shimura conjecture that every rational elliptic curve is modular, Andrew Wiles established which conjectural mathematical result?
Fermat's loss theorem.
Correct. 10 points for this. What two-word common name is given to insects of the family Phasmatidae, characterised by an elongated body shape and an ability to camouflage themselves on plants?
Caius Martinelli.
Stick insect.
Correct. These bonuses, Caius, are on single words with two contradictory meanings, sometimes known as contronyms or Janus words. Firstly, from the Greek word for the womb, what word can mean both frightened and out of control and wildly funny?
Hysterical. Yeah, hysterical. Hysterical.
Correct. Originating from two different Old English words, what six-letter word can mean both to part or divide by a cutting blow and to adhere or cling to?
Cleave.
Correct. From the Greek meaning a speech in defence, what word can mean both an expression of regret for an offence or failure and a justification, often of a faith?
Apology. Yeah. Apology.
Correct. 10 points for this. Originally specialising in 19th century French socialism, which London-born historian published his magnum opus post-war?
Durham Lloyd.
Tony Judd.
Correct. Right, a set of bonuses on Virgil's Aeneid. Firstly, for 5, after the Greeks depart from Troy in Book 2 of the Aeneid, which Greek warrior claims to have deserted and persuades the Trojans to take the wooden horse into the city?
Agamemnon? That's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong, but OK.
Agamemnon.
No, it's Sinon. Which Trojan priest warns against this action with the words, "I fear the Greeks even when bearing gifts. He and his sons are killed by sea serpents, and the Trojans draw the horse into the city"?
Priam's the king, it's the only one I can think of. He isn't killed by a sea serpent, no, is he? No. Is there a woman who warns against it? No, it's a man. I don't know. Against Priam.
Priam.
No, it's Laocoon. And finally, during the sack of Troy, which dead Trojan hero appears to Aeneas in a dream and urges him to flee the doomed city?
Sounds like Kibby.
Hector.
Correct. 10 points for this. Whom the gods love dies young is an aphorism attributed to which ancient Athenian comic dramatist of whose extant works the play Dyskolos is the most substantially complete?
Keys Loveday.
Is it Menander?
It is, yes. You get 3 bonuses on whales, the marine mammal, that is. Firstly, eaten in polar regions, muktuk is a dish that consists largely of which fatty substance? It acts as an insulating layer in whales and other marine mammals.
Blubber. We happy with blubber? Blubber.
Correct. Found in the head of certain whale species and formerly used in candle manufacture, which white fatty substance is so named because it was at one time thought to play a role in the reproductive process?
Sperm. Sperm.
No, that does play a role in the reproductive process. No, it's spermaceti. Oh. And finally, which dark, odorous, waxy substance is found in the intestines of sperm whales and has historically been used in the manufacture of perfume?
Ambergris? Yeah. I think it's ambergris.
Nominate Loveday.
Ambergris?
Correct. Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a map of some of the UK's parliamentary constituencies with one of them highlighted. 10 points if you can name it.
Keys Taylor.
West Belfast.
Correct. For your bonuses, 3 constituencies that in the 2010 general election returned MPs with large majorities, this time all in the diversely partisan county of Yorkshire. In each case, I want the constituency and the MP who held it. Firstly, for 5, with a majority of over 23,000 votes.
It's North Yorkshire, MP for North Yorkshire.
John Prescott?
Oh, no, Prescott's Hull. No, he's in the Lords now. I don't think of any, obviously.
No.
It's all going to be Tory, isn't it? So should we go Theresa May or something?
Yeah.
Okay. North Yorkshire, Theresa May.
It is Richmond in North Yorkshire and William Hague, so I'm afraid you don't get that. Secondly, with a majority of just under 11,000 votes.
Darlington.
Darlington.
No, Darlington.
I think Darlington's further north. I don't.
So do we know? Pass.
That's Doncaster North, Ed Miliband's seat. And finally, with a majority of just over 15,000 votes.
Should this be Sheffield Hallam, maybe?
Yeah.
Nick Clegg. Sheffield Hallam and Clegg?
Nick Clegg and Sheffield Hallam is correct, yes. Right, 10 points for this. Named after the town in Surrey that was the birthplace of the 14th century logician and Franciscan friar to whom it is attributed. What principle states that...
Keys Loveday.
Occam's razor.
Correct. Don't multiply things unnecessarily, so you get a set of bonuses, this time Gonville and Caius, on countries. In each case, the name of a country can be formed by changing one letter in each of the two words you will hear defined. For instance, if the words defined were iron and bran, the answer would be Iran. OK? Firstly, the first name of the fictional Lord Glenvarloch in the title of an 1822 novel by Sir Walter Scott, and a large feline native to Asia.
Yes, it's a large feline native to Asia. Tiger.
Niger.
Niger. No. Niger?
Correct. Secondly, a tall, single-headed African drum associated with the Cuban rumba, and an implement consisting of two arms connected by a hinge, pivot or spring.
What was the first one?
The
drum.
Instrument like a big drum.
Something ending in ver. Any countries ending in ver that we could think of?
Bongo.
Just guess country.
Liberia.
I'd be very interested to know how you got that. It's utterly wrong. No, it's Tonga, from Conga and Tongs. And finally, the name of the Spanish city where the Alhambra is situated, and a small explosive shell thrown by hand.
Grenada.
Correct. 10 points for this. Give your answers as soon as your name is called. What are the only complex numbers whose square equals half their cube?
Caius Loveday.
Negative numbers, imaginary negative numbers less than 1.
Nope. Anyone like to buzz from Durham?
Durham Harvey.
2 and 2i.
No, it's 0 and 2. 10 points for this. The creators of the operas L'Orfeo and Otello and the authors of the novels Love on the Dole and The Quiet American all have surnames that, in part...
Caius Martinelli.
Green.
Correct. Right, these bonuses, Gonville and Caius, are on dreams in Shakespeare. In each case, give the play in which the following words appear. Firstly, there is some ill a-brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, should we try Merchant of Venice? Merchant of Venice?
Correct. Secondly, I've had a most rare vision. I've had a dream, past the wit of man to say what dream it was.
No, I think the last one would be maybe Hamlet.
Last one could be Queen Mab, though. Go for Hamlet.
Hamlet?
No, it's Bottom in A Midsummer Night's Dream. And finally, sometimes he driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of health's 5 fathom deep.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet?
Indeed, yes, it's the Queen Mab's speech. Right, we're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear a piece of classical music. 10 points if you can name the French composer.
Caius Loveday.
Charpentier.
It is Charpentier, yes. That was the prelude to his Te Deum, taking its name from the first lines of the Latin hymn Te Deum Laudamus, or To Thee, O Lord, We Give Praise. For your bonuses, 3 more pieces of classical music known by the name Te Deum. 5 points for each composer you can name. Firstly, this Czech composer.
One of 3, haven't we? Any idea whether this sounds more like Schmetterner and Dvorak? I think Janissek's unlikely. Should we go Schmetterner?
No, it's Dvorak. Secondly, this English composer.
It sounds a bit more Purcell. Do you think that's we'll try Purcell.
It is Purcell, yes. Finally, this Austrian composer.
Yeah, we'll try Mozart.
It's Haydn. 10 points for this. A test devised in 2011 to measure whether a computer-created synthesised voice can time and deliver a joke well enough to make people laugh is named after which US film critic, often partnered with...
Caius Martinelli.
Roger Ebert.
Correct. These bonuses are on astronomy, Gonville and Caius. What body in the solar system has a diameter almost exactly 400 times that of Earth's moon?
200 times Earth-ish, isn't it? So maybe Jupiter? Diameter. Could be the sun. No, the sun's way, way bigger. Should we try Jupiter? You guys got any ideas?
It's going to be Saturn or Jupiter.
Jupiter.
No, it's the sun. By coincidence, the sun's mean distance from Earth is also around 400 times that of the moon from Earth. This allows what rare specific astronomical phenomenon to occur?
Is it geostationary orbit?
Is it what?
Geostationary orbit?
I thought it was some kind of eclipse, maybe.
Yeah, solar eclipse.
Total eclipse,
Lunar
maybe.
eclipse or solar eclipse.
What do you think?
Solar eclipse.
Lunar eclipse.
Should we try lunar eclipse?
No, it's a total eclipse of the sun. And finally, what seven-letter term describes the event when a planet, rather than the moon, passes in front of the sun from our viewpoint?
Transit, yeah. Transit.
Correct. 10 points for this. Which novel of 1925 has as its closing line, "So we beat on"?
Caius Taylor.
The Great Gatsby.
Well done. You get the bonuses this time on comic operas. Which English composer wrote the opera The Perfect Fool, first performed in 1923? It parodies the conventions of 19th century opera and begins, unusually, with a 12-minute ballet.
Vaughan Williams?
Try Vaughan Williams, yeah. Vaughan Williams.
No, it's Holst. Born in Dublin in 1751, which dramatist wrote the libretto for the opera The Duenna, which in turn formed the basis of Prokofiev's opera Betrothal in a Monastery?
1751.
Sheridan.
No, it's Sheridan.
Sheridan?
It was, yes. Sung by Nemerino, the popular tenor aria Una furtiva lagrima features in which comic opera by Donizetti?
Don Pasquale?
Yeah, try that. Don Pasquale?
No, it's The Elixir of Love. 10 points for this. After the story that he ordered sham villages to be built for Catherine the Great's tour of the Crimea.
Caius Loveday.
Potemkin.
Potemkin is correct, yes. You get a set of bonuses, this time Gonville and Caius on Mexico. Villahermosa is the capital of which state in southeast Mexico? It shares its name with a sauce made from a species of capsicum and manufactured in Louisiana.
With Tabasco. Yeah. Tabasco.
Correct. Which state to the east of Tabasco shares its name with both its capital city and a body of water that forms part of the Gulf of Mexico?
Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Guadalajara?
No, it's Campeche. And finally, which Mexican state forms the northern part of the peninsula of the same name that it shares with Campeche and Quintana Roo?
Yucatan? Yeah.
Yucatan?
Yucatan is right. 10 points for this. Adopting a plan in which many streets were widened to improve traffic circulation, Baron George Haussmann was, during the 1860s...
Darren Lloyd.
Paris.
Correct. Right, you're back in the game. These bonuses are on aerodynamics, Durham. In aerodynamics, what name is given to the angle between the chord of an aircraft's wing and the velocity vector of the aircraft?
Lift or something. It probably isn't, but I don't know much about it.
Lift.
That's the angle of attack or angle of incidence. Secondly, if the angle of attack of a wing is increased to such an extent that the amount of lift generated by the wing decreases, what state is the aircraft said to be in?
Terminal velocity?
Terminal velocity is usually falling. Gliding or something? Steady? Steady.
Steady?
No, it's a stall. Remind us not to go flying with you. The stall speed of an aircraft can be lowered by extending flaps from the trailing edge of the wing or by extending what device forwards from the leading edge of the wing?
Is that... That sounds good. What did you say?
Aileron?
No, they're slats. Right, we're going to take a second picture round. For your picture starter, you are going to see an engraving of a scientific discovery. For 10 points, I want you to identify the scientist shown at work.
Caius Martinelli.
Newton?
It is Sir Isaac Newton. Do you know what he's doing?
Oh, he's putting light through a prism to refract it.
It's so easy when you know, isn't it? Well done. Yes, you're quite right, yes. Your picture bonus is 3 more illustrations of significant scientific experiments. In each case, I want you to identify the scientist from their experiment. Firstly, for 5, this French scientist.
He's heating up.
Lavoisier?
Heating, there could be Lavoisier.
Could be Lavoisier, yeah. Lavoisier?
It is, yes. Secondly, this Italian scientist.
Galvani.
Yeah.
Frog.
This frog, yeah. Galvani?
It is Galvani, yes. Giving a frog a bad time. And finally, this Italian scientist.
That's Volta. Volta.
Volta is right, yes, well done. 10 points for this. In his 1968 book, The Naked Civil Servant, Quentin Crisp...
Keys Taylor.
Sorry, I'm going to fine you 5 points. Quentin Crisp describes which literary genre as an obituary in serial form with the last instalment missing?
Durham Boyd Shaw.
Autobiography.
Correct. You get a set of bonuses, Durham. On US presidential campaign slogans, firstly, identified by Time magazine as one of the 10 most effective slogans in US political campaigns, what 3 words were used by Dwight D. Eisenhower's campaign in 1952?
I like Ike.
We like Ike.
I thought it was I like Ike.
I like Ike is right. Earlier in the 20th century, who won a presidential race with the slogan, a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage?
It sounds about right. Yeah.
About that
Sounds
time.
like someone depression-y.
Hoover.
It was Herbert Hoover in 1928. And finally, in 2008, Barack Obama campaigned under the slogan, Change We Can Believe In. What was his one-word slogan 4 years later?
Forward, I think.
That sounds rather harmless, was it? I don't know.
Forward.
It was forward, yes. 10 points for this. Under which Prime Minister did Hugh Dalton, Stafford Cripps and Hugh Gates...
Durham Morgan Thomas.
Clement Attlee.
Correct. They're all Chancellors of the Exchequer. Your bonuses now are on biological terms. All 3 begin with the same Greek prefix. What precise Greek-derived term describes an organism that has 4 complete sets of chromosomes?
Quadra something?
Yeah. I'm really need a biologist. Quadracyte.
No, it's a tetraploid. Secondly, which coenzyme transfers methyl, formyl and methylene groups?
Tetrazine.
No, it's tetrahydrofolic acid, or folate. And finally, derived from Streptomyces species, which antibiotic inhibits amino acid complexes binding to ribosomal subunits?
Isn't there one called tetramycin or something like that? Or if I imagine that. Isn't there anything better? Tetramycin?
No, it's tetracycline. They're about 4¼ minutes to go and 10 points for this. In human biology, what 2-word Latin term denotes the mass of yellow tissue remaining after ovulation when a mature graft...
Keys Martinelli.
Corpus luteum.
Correct. Your bonus this time are on English kings. In each case, name the king who acceded to the throne in the given year. Firstly, 1154.
After Stephen, so that's going to be Henry II.
Henry II? Henry II? Henry II.
Correct. Secondly, 1327.
It's going to be Edward I, Edward II, Edward III. Edward III.
Edward III.
Correct. Finally, 1422.
So it's Henry IV. It's Henry V.
No,
No, because he's at Agincourt, so he's 1415.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, go for it.
Or was it
Henry V.
for 1420 something?
Yeah, 1422.
No, because he fought at Agincourt, Henry V.
Oh, sorry,
At
Henry VI.
1415.
Yeah, that's what I said, Henry VI.
So
Okay,
what's the year?
Can you repeat the year for us?
No, come on, you've got to get it. Spent too long talking.
1422. Henry VI.
Henry VI.
Henry VI.
Henry VI is right. Right, 10 points for this. Give 2 answers as soon as your name is called. In addition to Castile and Leon, 3 autonomous regions of Spain border Portugal. Name 2 of them.
Keys Warner.
Extremadura and Galicia.
Correct. The other is Andalusia. These bonuses are on geological periods, Gonville and Keyes. Which geological period followed the Silurian and is characterised by the evolution of the first amphibians and insects?
Is it Ordovician? Is that Ordovician or is
Silurian.
Is it Devonian?
What do you think
Devonian.
it is? Devonian.
Yeah, Devonian. I think.
Devonian.
Devonian.
Correct. Which period of the Mesozoic era followed the Jurassic and saw the extinction of the dinosaurs?
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous.
Jurassic.
Yeah, for the Jurassic.
yes.
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous.
Correct. What is the current geological period which began around 2 million years ago?
Period. Is it just quaternary?
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah, quaternary?
Quaternary is correct, yes. There's only a couple of minutes to go, and there are 10 points at stake for this. 4 letters of the alphabet do not appear in the names of any of the 12 months of the year. Alphabetically speaking, which of these letters is the first?
Keys Warner.
H.
Nope.
Durham Boyd-Shaw.
C?
No, it's K. Q, X and Z are the others. Right, 10 points for this. What word can follow the names Nusselt, Grasshoff, Weber and Frood to give a dimensionless physical quantity?
Keys Martinelli.
Space?
No. Durham, one of you buzz?
Durham Boyd-Shaw.
Time?
It's number. 10 points for this. La Grande Illusion and La Bête Humaine.
Durham Lloyd.
Renoir.
Correct. These bonuses are on Berlin, Durham. In the opening paragraph of his account of a sojourn in pre-Nazi Berlin, which author wrote, "I am a camera with its shutter open, quite passive, recording, not thinking"?
Christopher Isherwood.
Correct. Which author wrote Berlin Game, the first novel in a series of 3 trilogies about the British spy Bernard Sampson?
Frederick Forsyth.
No, it was Len Dayton. In 2002, which historian followed his account of the Battle of Stalingrad with Berlin, the downfall, 1945?
Anthony Beaver.
Correct. 10 points for this. Usually considered to be fewer than 60 beats per minute, what Greek-derived medical term is defined as a slow heart rate?
Keys Martinelli.
Bradycardia.
Correct. Here are your bonuses. They're on a shared letter. What is the letter and number designation of an internal combustion engine with its cylinders arranged in 2 rows of 4 at an angle to each other?
V8. V8?
Correct. V3 is an abbreviation used in English language teaching for what precise form of a verb?
Troy.
And that was on. Durham had 95, Gonville and Caius have 275. The answer, of course, was past participle, the one you were looking for, Gonville and Caius. But many congratulations to you. Durham, bad luck. I'm afraid you're going to have to do a lot better than that, really. But Gonville and Caius, 275, terrific performance again. And at this stage of the competition, when the questions get harder, it's particularly impressive. So we should look forward to seeing you again. I hope you can join us next time for another quarter-final match. But until then, it's goodbye from Durham University.
Bye. Bye.
It's goodbye from Gonville and Caius College, Cambridge.
Bye. Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.